Welcome back to another episode of Two Joes and the Pro. As always, you got your guys, Kenny, Ryan, and Brian, my boys. It's a fantasy playoff week. So I know me and Brian are excited. And Ryan, I know you're kind of sitting from the stands watching. So how are you doing, by the way? Like, how are you taking
It's
that?
rough. What do you want me to do? It's just
Wow.
one. It's just.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, why is
It's
it?
just one league.
Do you feel like you got jaded in one way, or
No,
like
my
what?
team did not perform. They just didn't. They couldn't do it. I had Terry McLaurin, who went out with a concussion, but he wasn't doing anything anyways, because he went out in like the third quarter. And then
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney. I think that Justin Fields is just ridiculously bad. It's just, I don't know, man. I got nothing.
It wasn't bad last week, that bad.
He's not
No
good
options.
I think it was more so of other players on the Bears that was snapping. Mr. Grant, if we can call him that, he was in his bag last week. Him and yeah, he had a touchdown catching too, and then Demir Bird had a little catch across the middle and took that to the crib. So it was just not Mooney's day, I guess. Anyway, getting straight into it, man. Nothing really to touch on college football right now. I'll touch on that later. I told you guys last week that I'll bring you a monster ticket and BK bet so you guys can win your money. So I have that promise. And then getting straight to the NBA.
What?
Like, what? Anyway, get straight into the NBA. We're going to talk about the biggest issue, the same thing with the NFL. It's like a whole bunch of COVID stuff happening, man. Like, all these people are getting held out because of COVID and all these issues. Like, right now is, I know with all the new variant coming up and things like that, it's just crazy, like how the times is. I feel like the whole year is kind of like being controlled, and now it's like out of control. Like 4 or 5 players from each team is falling out. They're like talking about like pushing some games back and moving things in the NBA at least. So that's like the biggest thing going on. Besides Steph Curry passing Ray Allen for 3-point leader of all time, which was big. It took him like 2 extra games than I thought. I thought the game with last week when they said he only had 7 to get, that he was going to try to do it in that game, right? But he got it done against the Knicks in the Garden, which is big in its own right? Because everybody loves the Garden and then playing in the Garden. So shout out to Steph Curry doing that. Isaiah Thomas, I know Brian would like this, a Celtics guy. Isaiah Thomas, I feel like he got short-ended a lot because of the hip injury, but he was in the G League. His first game in the G League, he scored 42 points. So then, of course, the Lakers like, hey, if you have done anything in your history, we'll bring you onto the team. So since he was a good player in the past, they bring him on. So we have him on a 10-day contract. So we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully he does well, man. I like him as a player. He's real gritty. And then there's been a couple of buzzer beaters, but for that to be said, I think I want to highlight one player, particularly Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from OKC. He's a small market guy, right? Kind of is falling in the same trap that Westbrook did when KD left. Like, nobody really's watching OKC, but he has been balling, man. Like, is
he the one that hit the 3 at the end?
Very underrated. Yeah, he's the one that hit the 3 at the end, and then Graham hit the full court, right? So at least he was upsetting that, but like, I like him as a player. He just kind of like shuts up and go to work. That's what he does. Like, just shut up and go to work, and you don't really hear too much out of him, but his numbers do not lie. Like, they're balling. And then as far as standing wise go, it's kind of the same too in the West. You got the Suns and Golden State at number 1 and Suns at number 2. And then in the Eastern Conference, it's kind of shaking out with, the cream of the crop rising with the Nets at first place. And I think the Bucks are at 7. Not 7, second right now. And then Bulls behind them. College basketball hasn't really been anything too crazy. A lot of teams kind of like matching like 1 through 10. But that's expected, as I've been saying in previous weeks. Everybody's kind of like middle of the pack, besides Baylor, right? I think Baylor has a little bit deeper team, but most of the people or most of the teams are kind of like middle of the pack great players from the starting five. Maybe you have two guys, and that's it. So that's all I have for like basketball and as a whole.
Cool. All right, baseball. We're still locked out. I checked the box there. All right, next. Don't worry, guys. Baseball, they're gonna be locked out until like February probably. So nothing's gonna happen. That's the way baseball is. So hockey. I know I talked up Connor McDavid a couple weeks back. He's kind of cooled off a little. I mean, he's still on pace for 137 points, which is still very significant. It's still more than anyone else is going to get to, but it's a lot lower of a pace than he previously was on. And Edmonton, because he's been on a cold streak, Edmonton has actually dropped, I think, the last 6 games, and they're on the verge of missing the playoffs if it was to start today. But of course, they got time. The season's still going. Some hot teams right now. We got the Penguins, for some reason, are starting to win games again. They're on a 5-game win streak. And then in the West, we got the Avs are also on a 5-game win streak, and and then the Nashville Predators are also on a 5-game win streak. So, yeah, but like I said the previous week, the playoff standings, they still look very similar to Thanksgiving. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how many of those change. But like I said before, I don't think many of them are. So that's about all I got on hockey.
Hey,
Short and
let's
simple, I
hope
like
that
it.
we have football this week with certain teams, because I feel like the Browns have everyone and their mother on the COVID-19 list. They got Baker on COVID-19. They got Case Keenum on COVID-19. I don't even know who's going to be their starting quarterback. They might be throwing out Jarvis Landry if he's not on the list. You know what I mean?
I think he is on the list.
Could be.
Is he? Well,
That's a crazy. Yeah, that's a crazy part. He's on the list.
Odell got COVID. Like it's wild. The Jags decided to fire Urban Meyer. So I mean, we all saw that coming.
Late night too.
Yeah.
Like
Did
that.
you see the report where Jason Myers, the kicker, said that Urban Meyer kicked his leg like during practice?
Yeah. Then Urban said, "I can do whatever the hell I want."
I don't know what
I'm a
happened to that
ball coach.
guy. Like,
I'm like, bro.
I never thought Urban Meyer was that psychotic.
Nah, I don't know, man. I have nothing to say on that. I don't know what happened to him either. I feel like
Something must have.
yeah,
something.
he went
clicked
off the
on
beat,
him.
man.
It was a switch.
Or he maybe it was something like he was trying to intentionally do that, right? Maybe he's like, man, the NFL is a little bit too much for me. I don't have the same control that I do in college, right? Because it's way more control in college, right? So he's like, how can I get out of here? Like after the stuff happened with the bar stuff, and everybody's like, oh man, Urban Meyer. Like he's like, can I try to make this better? And then when he kept losing, then he's like, I gotta go. Like I gotta figure out a way to go. Like maybe that's his strategy, but it worked.
Yeah.
If that it is, he's out of there.
He's getting free money.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Hey, Tyler Lockett's also on COVID-19 list. Alex Collins. The NFL came out and updated some of their protocols. I don't really know what they changed, but here I'll read the little blurb. Effective immediately, all clubs will implement preventative measures that will prove that have proven effective, masking regular, regardless of vaccination status, remote or outdoor meetings, eliminate in-person meals, no outside visitors with the team travels.
that's a big one.
I mean, they're going to strongly encourage booster shots, whatever. And they're adjusting the return to participation requirements for those who have recovered from COVID-19. I don't know what that means. And so I think they're going to try and make it easier if like someone tests negative, that they don't have to get like 2 negative tests in a row or something. But I don't know 100%. I'd have to like read this entire article because they don't really explain it very well.
The NFL is not for messing with that money, boy. They said, listen, y'all getting a little too close to comfort for my liking. All right, too many games is coming up. We got these big TV deals. Y'all, y'all need to play.
That's not
so
true.
Anyway.
This is founded in science. Cold, hard science. All right.
What's found in the science?
The changes that they're making. These are science-based decisions. It has nothing to do with money.
I know. I'm pretty sure. Oh no.
Yeah, man.
I know. That has nothing to do with money at all.
Yeah, man. I really wish I had more to say about the NFL right now, but like, that's it. It's gonna be an S show for anyone that's in the fantasy playoffs. Trying to pick up players that I don't know if anyone was relying on Baker Mayfield at the quarterback position. I'm sure you weren't, but players like Tyler Lockett, Jalen Waddle,
Odell.
Those are pretty big losses. Yeah, Odell. I got him.
Odell looks like a new man over there in LA. Huh.
It's amazing when you get a good quarterback what happens.
Yeah, it's like you want to.
And hold on, by the way, right? How about Matthew Stafford? Can we give him his flowers? Can people finally give him his flowers right now? People are like literally are acting like, oh, we all knew Matthew Stafford was good. Really? Because last year, you guys, when he was in Detroit, y'all were like about to tell him he needs to retire. He doesn't have it anymore. Then now that he's with the Lions, now you're saying, oh yeah, we expect that. It's Matthew Stafford. Oh, now y'all expect
I just think Matthew Stafford still hasn't won anything, so we'll see. He hasn't won anything. I don't care about the regular season with him. I got to see him win in the playoffs. I have yet to see that in his career. Granted, he didn't get very many opportunities, but even when he did get the opportunity, he didn't get it done in the playoffs. So now he's on a stacked team. So let's see. Well, he should win playoff games.
But is the team really stacked though? Are they more stacked than Arizona Cardinals?
Very similar.
Yeah, so they're not. I don't think they're as stacked as people say, right? Like they have two dominant, right, defenders, right? Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, without question, still in their prime. Von Miller, I don't think he's still in his prime.
But he could still.
Well, he has COVID right now.
He can still get it done though. I mean, he's still a good pass rusher.
No, I'm not saying there's a lot of players that can still get it done, right? Like, are you like Odell is a good player, right? Cooper Kupp is a good player, right?
Great player.
What is he really a great player? Because this is his first year that he's actually been healthy.
No, he's had.
Like, look at his numbers. Look at his numbers, bro. Look at his numbers. 2 years ago, he had a balling season. Then he got hurt. Then last year he wasn't. Last year he wasn't consistent because he was hurt. So like with all that being said, people are like making it seem like everybody's been on the Cooper Kupp train. If that's the case, then in fantasy, why wasn't he a first or second rounder? Why did people wait till the fourth or fifth round to pick him up if he's such a baller? Right? Why did people have question marks?
People didn't question him.
Can he stay healthy?
People just knew that Robert Woods was going to take a lot of the target share. So he wasn't at the beginning of the season. He was not clear number one. People could argue. It was even. Yeah, people could argue for Robert Woods.
It's been like that his whole career. The whole time it was like that. So now, I'm confused with what you're saying. You said he's a great player.
He is having a great season.
That's what I'm saying. He's having a great season, but just because you have one great season doesn't mean you're a great player now because you have one great season. I'm not saying I'm not saying that he's not good. He's a good receiver, but you're not telling me that Cooper Kupp is top 5 receiver.
Sure he is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm saying if you're looking at receivers, you're not saying Cooper Kupp is your top 5. And your top 5 receivers, if you had to take a player, you're not saying I'm taking Cooper Kupp. Because of 1 year, you're taking Cooper Kupp now?
I might.
Okay.
It's right.
As long as he's got Stafford.
Now as long as he has
They
Stafford.
like each other.
Okay.
That matters.
I hope.
I mean, what happens with Devontae Adams when he's not playing with Rodgers?
I still think he's still productive.
We don't know that.
I still think he's productive. But is he going to be as dominant as he is? We don't know because of the chemistry is a world of difference when you have chemistry, right? Like the same thing you say with Odell and Eli. Like they had chemistry, so it made Odell look even better. But then when
how many bad years do you have to have in order to not be great anymore?
You have to have more than 1 year to be great. That's for sure.
But how many bad years do you have to have?
You know what I mean?
To not be great. Like if if you've established greatness, like how many?
Yeah, I think once you establish greatness, it's not like, oh yeah, he's not great anymore. That means he's not in his prime and he just falls off, right? Like you're not gonna say, oh, Von Miller's not great. Von Miller's still great, right? But he's not in his prime.
Yeah.
He's done. He's on the tail end, right? That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like some players have one good year and then people are like, oh my god, he's a dog. He's like, is he really a dog? He had one good year. Then after that, it was like pedestrian numbers. Like, we're good there, but they're not great. You know what I mean? So, like, that's like my thought process behind it. I'm not going to take too much time, but that's my thought process behind it. Like, don't, people are like, Cooper Cup. Like, where was this last year? Because it wasn't Cooper Cup last year. And you're going to say Jared Goff and all that stuff. I'm just saying.
You gotta get ahead of the trends, man. You gotta get ahead of the trends.
Oh. Okay, I'm like, y'all trendsetters. My bad. I forgot. All right, man. So that's what we have for football. Sorry, I just took my own time. Perfect, man. I like how we got straight to the great debate quickly because I'm really excited to talk about this topic just because, like I said before, being in the fantasy playoffs is kind of a surreal feeling. Brian can speak to that.
Dude, I'm in the playoffs in leagues that.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in the league that actually matters, and you're not, right? Like, with all three of us, you're not in it, right? You didn't cut the mustard. I'm just saying.
We'll update you guys next week.
Anyway, so, yeah, if it happens. But guess what? You can't talk nothing if you're sitting at home on the couch.
Yeah.
Just sit back and eat your popcorn, right? Just watch the show. Anyway, go ahead. What you said, Brian?
I was just going to say, I'm sitting at home on the couch, too, on my bye week.
Yeah, you're sitting at the home stretching.
No big deal.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But anyway, keeping on the fantasy topic, I wanted to get you guys' thought process, right, with being in the fantasy, playoffs for a lot of leagues, right? As Ryan knows, because he's in a lot of leagues. He's in the playoffs in some leagues, right? Who is you guys' top player that you think is going to lead teams to the championship? Right? Like, if you have him on your roster, he's going to take you to the championship. Or on most rosters, people are having this player to take them to championship.
I mean, I'm going to go first just because that's just how it is.
You the fantasy guru. Come on now.
Look,
Ryan Fantasy.
If this player is on your team, you drafted him late or traded for him, he was really easy to get because he was the number 2 running back on his team. But since week 1, he has done nothing but be like a threat the entire year. He's the number 6 running back right now in PPR. He's scored a touchdown in his last 7 games. And that's James Conner. As much as I hate to say it, if he is on you, like, there's probably not a team that has James Conner on their team that's not in the playoffs. And if they are, then they're just like really, really bad because James Conner is their probably 3rd running back that they drafted. So yeah, that's what I think. A lot of championship teams are gonna have James Conner because they play Detroit, Indy, and then Dallas. None of those like really scare me on the ground, and he's been doing it through the air as well. Last week he was literally like a wide receiver, 9 receptions for 94 yards, and they weren't just like screen passes out of the backfield. He was like running routes down the field. And what's the stat? He has the most one-handed catches this year. It's just
who tracks that? Who tracks that, bro?
Hey,
cut it out.
Pay attention. With 5, I think he's made 5 one-handed catches this year. Yeah, man. James Conner, get at me.
I'm gonna piggyback off of Ryan just because.
You're taking James Conner too?
But my guy
is
his quarterback. I got Kyler Murray for similar reasons. High-powered offense, easy schedule for the most part from a fantasy perspective. Especially that game against Indy. People might be fearing Indy's defense, but their secondary, especially their safety play, is suspect. You should be able to stretch the field on them pretty easily. I mean, I think they have like some guy named, isn't Sadejo back there or something? Like, he's old and slow now. I think he's one of their safeties. But yeah, I just don't think that I don't think Indy's gonna be able to slow him down. Dallas, I mean, if they could get a pass rush, but Kyler Murray isn't really susceptible to a pass rush like most quarterbacks because he's so damn quick and he runs around and it's hard to get him on the ground. The worst thing they're going to do is mess up his timing. So, yeah, I just think, and couple that with the fact that if you are in the playoffs and you've had Kyler Murray, you had him hurt for a while, so he's going to be like a huge boost to your team now that you weren't counting on before. So it's going to put you over the top.
Do you not think that? I don't know if I agree completely with it. Only because he's gonna be missing Hopkins like for the rest of the year.
Yeah, Hopkins has been out
for the season
for the last 4 weeks beforehand.
I understand that, but Kyler has also been playing pretty poorly, except for that 1 week.
Yeah, I don't think I was about to say I agree with the Ryan's part of what he said his player with James Conner, just because Chase Edmonds didn't even make a difference this year, right? We thought Chase Edmonds would be number one and James Conner be number two, but that's not the case. But for Kyler Murray, I don't think that's the case at all. I think he struggles because the receivers that complement him well are the D-hop receivers, the guys that's rangy, has a lot of like big range. You can throw the ball anywhere and they kind of can jump ball and go get it. I think AJ Green fits that picture for him. But like for somebody like Christian Kirk, which has to run a double route to get open deep, or for somebody like Rondale Moore, who's completely disappeared, right? We haven't heard from him in I don't know how long. Not having D-hop there and then having your best receiver on AJ Green, like I think that's going to be really hard for him. And you can see that if you look at the last game when they played the Rams, towards the end, it struggled. Like their O-line is not good right now, so it's like,
yeah, I just think with the fact that you have to commit a spy to him or try to contain him in the pocket, it affects the defense when you have to do that. And I think that his running ability it makes it very difficult to defend him, even if he's missing D-hop. Like, he's still going to be able to scramble around and wait for somebody to get open. A guy like Ertz is going to be very, very good for that. Ertz did that kind of stuff when he was in Philly. So, just being there as like an option when he's in trouble, like a hot route or whatever. Not a hot route, but like what I'm talking about. Like a little
Safety
check down.
blanket?
Yeah.
you're like an option route. So would Ertz actually be the guy that will benefit the most from it then, instead of it being actually Kyler Murray, right? If he's good at that and he can fill that void and be at the little blanket that he did a lot in the Rams game. They did a lot of like out routes or not out, or like over routes or in cut routes and like kind of like the Travis Kelce kind of role option. And they threw it down to him a couple of times. So it's like, do you think he's the one that actually had the upside rather than Kyler Murray?
No, I wouldn't disagree with that. I just think that Kyler Murray, I just picked Kyler Murray because that's what I want to pick.
Because I wanted to pick him. Okay.
Listen.
Okay, my bad. I'm just saying, like,
James Conner will benefit.
I'm not. Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, we just poked holes into your guy. No offense. I'm just saying that it wasn't really. If you guys got him as your quarterback, I don't think you're going to be like.
I got him in 2 leagues, so I'm in the playoffs. So, I'm just saying.
Well, then maybe that's just
no, because I like James Conner. I've been calling him RB1 all year.
Yeah, I don't like.
And he traded him.
I did.
So
hey,
he never started him. He never started him. He never started him and then traded him and then missed the playoffs.
Listen, I had Zeke and Najee Harris as my running backs, okay? Anybody in my position would have done that.
So why did you put him at the flex?
Because I had no wide receivers.
Why did you put him at the flex?
I think my best receiver was like Jacoby Myers. Yeah,
I can understand that, man.
I'm trying to maximize the talent.
Yeah. You can be like me and give up Cordero Patterson.
Worry, I'm putting him to good use.
You're in the playoffs, though.
You're right. So maybe I won out on that trade. So I'll say my guy is going to be Leonard Fournette, or Leonard Fournette, as Rob Gronkowski would say. I feel like after Jacksonville, they just counted my guy out. I liked him since LSU. Jacksonville, he was a baller. and then they're like, oh man, he's a problem child. He gets down to Tampa Bay, and I feel like Tampa Bay for the longest was trying to just give the ball to Ronald Jones. I don't know what they saw in Ronald Jones. Not saying he's a bad player, but he's not Fournette, in my opinion, right? And Fournette, these last 5 weeks, he's just been exploding. Of course, Brian, having him on his team, he has seen that the 4 tutties having 44 points, but he's been averaging around like 16, 17 points. And for me, getting into the last 3 weeks of the regular season, and then you having New Orleans and the Jets, in Carolina, I believe, he has an easy schedule, I think, as far as like production wise. He's been averaging like 4 or 5 catches at the least these last 5 weeks. Some of the weeks he has like 6 or 7 catches. So like having that on your fantasy roster for him scoring touchdowns that way, you still got Tom Brady at quarterback, so it's not like they can just load the box, right? Still got Tom Brady at quarterback, and they're giving him the goal line touches. I feel like that's somebody that can for sure will you to the championship, right? So
I can't argue with it. I think that the only thing that scared me at the beginning of the year with Leonard Fournette was the fact that they had like an obsession with Ronald Jones, like you said. And also, I was scared that any time that Leonard Fournette fumbled, he just wouldn't see the field again. I think that Bruce Arians is that kind of coach that he'd do it, but he's kind of past that now. Whereas like Leonard Fournette could fumble or miss a blocking assignment, and he's not getting taken out because he's the best thing for that team, and he's gained the favor of Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's
like
the key part.
Yeah. I think the best thing. Good. I think the best thing that happened to Leonard Fournette is him going to Tampa Bay. Of course, they won the Super Bowl, right? But like as far as like the attention to detail and him being around like Patriot greats, right? Like great players in general, right? But just Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, like him and Rob are super tight, and seeing how they come to work every day and how hard they work and attention to detail and make sure they're focused on all the plays and make sure they know all their assignments, I feel like they make a world of difference compared to him being in Jacksonville where he was the guy. And many times he was just like, I'm doing my thing, right? And it's like, what you guys can tell me? You can't really tell me anything because I'm producing. But now when you see a team that's like, yeah, we won the Super Bowl, but you still got the same guys hungry, I feel like that changes your whole mentality, which is helping him a lot. Because I don't see him missing a lot of blocks and stuff like he used to.
Yeah, and
for sure.
I've never heard anyone.
He got on that TB12 method, so he looks a lot younger now than he did. He looked like an old man when he was in Jacksonville at the end, and he was only like 25 or something like that, and then he goes to Tampa and he's young again. He's got that youth back.
Yeah. It's a fountain of youth. That boy Tom Brady said, "Hey, bro, I know you were missing the little things. Take this little juice packet." He said, "What is this?" Like the Mario with the mushroom. He just grew up, right? So yeah, but yeah, that's all I have on that.
Sweet.
Right? It's not too much of a debate in that case, I guess. Ryan, what you got for Ryan?
Before I go into Ryan's fantasies, I want to ask you guys a football question. Do you guys think that? Like, I know Brian has an opinion on Sony Michel. Do you think that Sony Michel is better for the Rams than Henderson right now in his in his role that he's doing now? Like in terms of running the ball, like establishing the run game. Do you think, because they've played excellent with Sony out there?
Yeah, the problem.
Do you think that? Go ahead.
Here's the problem with Sony Michel. He can have stretches where he looks good, like he has been. The problem is something's going to happen and he's going to fade. It's usually an injury with him. It's just, or he just gets worn down. He can't be the number one guy the whole time. So the fact that they have 2 good running backs is good for both of them. Because Henderson shouldn't have to carry the whole workload either. But I think they complement each other. I don't think that Sony Michel can last a whole year by himself. So that's it.
See, that's crazy how you took me on that roller coaster. It was like reading a book. I was like, going up, and we got to the climax, and I was like, oh, never mind. But no. So I was going to disagree with you, but now I agree with you because in the beginning, you were kind of taking me the wrong way. But Sony Michel cannot do it by himself. I definitely agree with that. Because if you look at him in Georgia, who did he have in Georgia? He had Nick Chubb. And both of them complemented each other very well. And I think it's going to be the same thing with Henderson. I think if anything, this gave Sony Michel the confidence that the Rams needed as a team to help them get further in the playoffs, right? Because now not only are you going to have Sony Michel playing good, Henderson's going to be healthy. Henderson doesn't have to worry about have to do all the workload, right? It's going to be kind of like the A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones effect in Green Bay, where it's like, all right, cool, we got a 1-2 punch. And I think that complements them both, because I don't think either or Henderson or Sony Michel can stay healthy a whole year. We definitely know Henderson can't, right? I don't even think he's been healthy a whole year yet in the league. But like both of them complement each other pretty well.
And the fact that Henderson's a lot better at pass catching, and Sony Michel is just more of a one-cut back. It's
which is weird, right? Because in Georgia, he caught way more.
For some reason, he hasn't done it in the NFL.
So it's like
they give him the opportunity. Like I was watching the Rams game the other night, and I saw him dropping a pass that he should have caught. Like it's just, I don't know what's going on.
I think he's just gotten a lot heavier. Like I've known him since not known him, but I've watched him since high school, right? When he was like down in Plantation and or American Heritage. So like he was skinnier back then, and he was that kind of scat back, right? And that's kind of like the role he filled in Georgia. But then in Georgia, he got to like 208. So I was like, all right, man, he's like Diesel, right? But he's still catching. And then I don't know when he went to the Patriots. I don't know if they told him like, listen, we don't catch up here or whatever the case may be. But he like
him,
completely lost
look,
his
we
hands.
got this guy named James White. We don't need you doing that. So
we don't. Yeah, you're doing too much.
Yeah,
just
straight
pound the rock.
Just
pound
go
the
right
rock.
into the back of the line. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know, Kenny, that the Chargers, your team, are up 14-10. They were at the 1 yard line, and they decided to go for it on fourth down with there's 2 seconds left. It's the last play. They didn't get the third down conversion. They went for it on fourth, and they didn't get it. So now they're only up 4. If they would have kicked the field goal, they would have been up 7 at the half. So just
bro, like
he.
Bro, I was wondering what we were looking at, but like that. Oh my God, their coach.
An analytics guy. He's an analytics guy.
Like I get it.
Yeah, it is.
That's not analytics. Sure, bro. That's not analytics. No, it's not. No, it's not. I put $100 on it. What he's doing now is not analytics. He's already said before. He's like, I like to go for it on fourth down. That's just what I do. There's no analytics behind it. Analytics don't tell you to go for fourth down every time. Like he literally goes for fourth down every time. Every time, bro. You're like every time I've seen him this year, and you could about to be on a rant, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan's fantasies.
Every time this year, in the 7 games that I've seen this year, right? He has went for it on fourth down at least 20 times. NFL divisions, I would say the NFL in a whole probably don't go for that many fourth downs collectively, and he's doing that by himself. By himself. They played the Eagle. They got to the red zone 3 times the Eagle. Oh, we're going to go on fourth down. I said, what are y'all doing? Why are you going on fourth down? You got on fourth down, and they didn't score any points. None. And then wonder why we had to play the Eagle so close. Bro, you had a chance to kick 3 field goals. Do the Urban Meyer thing and kick it. All right?
Hey, analytics would have told him that he would have gotten at least 1 touchdown out of all that. So, yeah.
Nah. And analytics is going to tell him maybe one at a time, fourth to go on the 1. But if he's doing it on the 4-yard line, the 5-yard line, come on, bro, cut it out. Right. Anyway, I hop off the train.
All right. So in terms of Ryan's fantasies, we're just gonna keep it real simple. Mm-hmm. Play the Arizona Cardinals this week. Anyone you could possibly play from that team, they're gonna destroy the Detroit Lions. James Conner. Yeah. James Conner is going to be a smash play. So if you want to spend up for him, because he's probably going to be a little bit more expensive now, you're going to have to do it. The 49ers, they're 27.5 points implied total against the Atlanta Falcons. I wish I could like give you guys names here, because there are gonna be a lot of people that are gonna make a ton of money this weekend because there's so many COVID-19 stuff. So what I will say is, look who has COVID right now, and then try and see because there are going to be names that are going to go off for points that don't cost anything. For example, the Browns, whoever the Browns quarterback is, like, what's a receiver for the Dolphins? like Devontae Parker, like
Devontae Parker,
Yeah,
go off
like-
or something like that. Is Kenny still back?
no, I don't think so. He said who?
Okay.
Dallas is playing the Giants. Giants are gonna get smoked. It's just, hey, guys, I'm gonna tell you this right now. He's Daniel Jones is done. I mean, he's got that Peyton Manning neck right now. Like it's over. Like he's seeing a specialist for his neck.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know. I mean, in a sense, it's kind of like a scapegoat for the Giants to kind of like move on. We got to get a new quarterback. Yeah, I hope that they trade for a veteran like Russell Wilson or something like that. But like, we'll talk. Well, hopefully, we're talking about that this offseason. The Rams are playing Seattle. I don't think Seattle's that great. But I also, this is a division game, so I would fade this game. A lot of people are going to play players because Seattle's defense is horrendous. So you're going to want to play the Rams receiving options, Sony Michel, Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson because Odell's out. You're going to want to play those people, but in my experience with division games like that, sometimes they can be low scoring.
Cool question for you. Since you're on the Rams, you have Devontae Adams, without question, he's playing, right? You got Chris Godwin, you got Keenan Allen, you got Van Jefferson. Who's sitting? 3 spots. Who's sitting?
Van Jefferson.
Okay.
I mean,
I was just asking because you said because of his matchup that he has. Van Jefferson's been playing pretty well lately, right? So I was just asking in that regards. But I appreciate it. It makes me feel better about.
I'm also of the mindset that you don't sit your superstars. Like don't get too big for your britches.
Yeah. No.
You want it's sometimes it'll work out, and you like hindsight 2020. Keenan Allen's not doing too hot right now, so like maybe it would have worked out, but he could also come out second half and score 2 touchdowns, and then you're like, oh, thank goodness I didn't do that.
Right.
But that's it. That's all we got for Ryan's fantasies.
Hey, is Tyler Heineke out? What happened to him?
He got hurt last week. Week.
Right, but what's wrong with him?
He had a concussion.
So he's not playing?
Right now, I thought it was up in the air. They said they're trying to see if they can clear protocols, but I don't
Why?
know.
You got him?
No, I was just looking at BK bet stuff. They got Washington at +10 right now at the Eagles. That's
If they have it, but we're about to get in BK bets. But if they have him at +10, actually, let's say, hey, thank you for Ryan Fantasy. Let's get straight to BK bets. By the way, I want to put out something, right? I know a lot of people saw us on BK bets. We hit a ticket last week, right? And then people started like, oh man, let's follow 2 Joes and 1 Pro. Like, guys, give me the picks. By the way, do your own research, right? Do your own research. Second, we're gonna tell you we're different than the normal people that you're gonna see on Action Sports because we're taking chances and we are literally putting parlays. A lot of the people that y'all follow, y'all keep trying to add me like, oh, look at this dude hit. He's hitting because he's doing what? He's giving you 1 or 2 picks. He's giving you, hey, I have 10 teams. I'm giving you the picks. He's not doing parlays. He's not putting his name on the line and risking like, oh yeah, this is the money for a 3-team or a 5-teamer. So don't even add me in that stuff. I don't want to see it because all 3 of us could go and take 20 teams right now and we can hit on an 80% average on all the teams one by one. But show me the people who's doing it on parlays. Okay. Anyway, let's get into BK bets. Go ahead, Brian. Say your point. What you said with the. Actually, you can start first. Let's do it reverse.
Heineke is in.
NFL.
He's in?
He's on track. He's on track to play.
Oh, bro. Okay, well, so
McLaurin did not participate. But.
Yeah, I don't care.
I like how Sims looked. I like how Sims looked last week too.
I think I gotta take that. We're gonna make it a 14 parlay then this week.
Okay.
Oh, so I got New England at
What
+2.5. In Indy. It's basically a pick game, and I think the Patriots are going to edge them out. Yeah, that's just I have nothing further than that. It's you got to remember I'm a Patriots fan, so if you don't like it, don't take it. Put Washington in there and just take a 3-teamer. I also have hold on, where'd it go? Sorry. Stupid app. I do like Washington plus 10. If Heineke is playing, you might want to wait until Sunday to drop that just in case. I like them plus 10. And then I also like Seattle. Or no, I'm sorry, the Rams minus 4.5. And then I got the over with the Green Bay Baltimore game. It's only 43.5. I don't see those teams not scoring 20 a pop. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that should be a pretty easy.
You think
over.
Lamar plays?
Whether he does or not, I think they're gonna hit that over.
Yeah. Yeah, even with Lamar not playing, I think Huntley he's proven that he can pass the ball. And if you have Bateman, I don't know what him. I guess when they're running with the twos, they got some type of connection. He's throwing him the ball every time. That is crazy. I like that though. I like that 14. I like how you're going for it, trying to bless everybody for Christmas.
I hope.
Yeah, if you celebrate
Happy
Christmas.
holidays.
Happy holidays. Let me say that. Yeah, let's be politically correct, I guess, in this day and age. Happy holidays. By the way, we kind of been in college basketball. We kind of been smacking them over their head this last week and a half. If you guys are tracking and following us on the sports right now, we have a live 3-team parlay. 2 of the tickets or 2 of the teams just hit. The last team is the over on the Kansas City and Chargers game. Hopefully that hits 54. I don't know. 10-14, that doesn't look like it's on this track, but hopefully that happens, right? But I promised you guys that we were going to do a big ticket for college football, and I need you to bear with me because we got an 11-teamer, right? 11-teamer, and we're going for the gusto, right? So for the bowl games, right, we have Boston College money line versus ECU. I like Boston College as a team. Historically, they have done pretty well in the bowl setting, right? A lot of teams get to the bowl setting and they just forget how to play. I don't think that's going to be the case with Boston College, so we have them. SMU +2 versus Virginia. SMU scores points. Virginia's team is hit or miss, right? But SMU scores points. I think they show out. Of course, we're going to put the big dogs, Bama, -14 versus Cincinnati. I know people are like, oh, man, Cincinnati. I don't care about no damn Bearcat. I don't care about Roll Tide. Roll Tide. That's how I feel. Roll Tide. 14 points. Let's do it. I like the over 49 for the UTSA versus San Diego State. I know San Diego State didn't play well. That's why I didn't take them. I took the over because they probably gonna give up points like they did to Utah State. I like Ohio State -6.5 versus Utah. I know people are gonna be like, man, Utah didn't look good versus Oregon. Go Buckeyes.
Yeah.
All right, Brian?
OH.
Exactly. That's what I said. All right, here you go. Go Buckeyes. So, Michigan State is going to have a tough game. I would say if any of the teams that I'm like a little weary on, it's going to be the Michigan State versus Pittsburgh because I like Pickett is a good quarterback. If he's playing, that's another thing, right? A lot of these teams they're going to have players that's dropping out because they're trying to get ready for the draft, things like that. So if Pickett's not playing, too easy. So locking that ticket now. Because if he says he's opting for the draft, that ticket is the point spread is going to go through the roof. In Michigan, I'm in Michigan State's favor. Purdue +4 versus Tennessee. I don't know if I'm missing something, but the last time I checked, Purdue is putting up points. They've been playing pretty well, right? Tennessee is a team that, while they do have Hoople as their as the head coach and he's good on the offensive coordinator, I don't think that they're just going to beat Purdue. The last 4 teams, we're going to have Missouri +150 versus Army. I hope they can stop the triple option. I just feel like SEC versus triple option. Come on, let's be serious. So I took the money line at +150. So I took them. Utah State +7.5 versus Oregon State. I like how Utah State has ended up winning the Mountain West Championship. I like how they look. BYU -6.5 versus UAB. I feel like if there's any team you want to bet on just by itself and put the house on, that's the team I'm taking. And they're probably a loser, so I just said that. But anyway, that's the team that I am taking. And then App State, of course, money line, First Western Kentucky. You can put that in the book. For that 11 teamer, I know that was pretty real long. If you follow us on Extra Sports, you will see that. But for that 11 teamer, if you put $20 up, you will win. I think it's 26,000. If you put, or 22,000, sorry. If you put $50 up for that, you're gonna win 52,000. And I know people are like, "What?" Oh, my bad, 54,000. And I know people are like, "What's up with Kenny?" I'm told you guys, I'm giving you something that you can take home and write about. Like, you hit this ticket,
Merry Christmas.
call it a day. And I'm only
Are we going in together?
because Merry Christmas for real. Yeah, we can do that, right? I have looked at the odds. It's very doable, guys. In a bowl game setting, it's very doable. So hopefully luck is on our side because we're gonna need a little bit. For 11 teamer, you're gonna need a little bit of luck, right? But for 54,000,
I'm
no brainer. What else you gonna do with $50? You gonna go buy a bottle of Hennessy, Ciroc, or a case of Natural Light or whatever you like to drink, right? So you might as well take that and try to put it in your bag.
It's called investing your money, okay?
But yeah, that's all I have. Invest, yeah. But like we said, do your own
By the
research.
way, I'm
right?
hitting up the sports book with that 4-teamer this week. So I will be at the casino at some point, putting that down. Real hard cash this time. So
Yeah. That's another thing, guys. Y'all following a lot of people. They don't put their money up. We putting money up. It's not like we're giving you guys picks and be like, oh, no sweat on us. Like, nah, we're putting money up too. So if we don't hit, we feel just like you guys. We're like, damn. And that doesn't make it any better, right? But at least you know that you guys got hosts that are putting some sweat equity in it with you. So that's it. I hope y'all enjoy the BK bets. I know we get on the holiday times. So everybody, make sure you spend the time with your loved ones and, and enjoy this time. We're appreciative as everything all the time with y'all following us. We're still getting bigger and better and have a lot of stuff in store for you guys for 2022. We hope you guys continue to follow us and prepare for the total domination for the year 2022. Follow us on all the socials. Yeah, like that. That was like my little Bring It On reference. Follow us on all the social, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're going to start bringing it up in TikTok. I'm going to have Brian do a couple of TikTok dances because I know he likes to dance and stuff. No, I'm just playing. He's not going to do that. But just follow us on all the socials, man. And y'all just have a great night, man. We appreciate all the support. Peace.